Yeah, TVZ, I think you said.
Yep, TVZ. Yep.
So yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see the PVT here. Conway, I think we also saw him only PVZ as well. Uh,
Do you have any background or information on just to get like an introduction of the players?
no, these are two
No.
players that I only met through RSL. RSL. Don't know
Okay.
them as well as I know Shiro or Fi. It's going to be interesting. Let's see how it goes. Okay, spawning in the right position, we have MShift as the orange Protoss.
And on the 6 o'clock position, we have ZMFXMS, aka Conway Twitty, Peach Tar.
So we already talked about Medusa a little bit in the game where we saw Phytris versus Shiro. So we know. I mean, we didn't get to experience the map that much because that game was really short. I'm wondering if this game is going to be a little bit longer, maybe, if we're going to see that the map features really getting used. I mean, obviously the place where he chose to hide the pylon in the last game definitely had an impact. I think like it's
Yep.
it's a it's a convenient place to hide things. It might have been a little bit risky because it's right next to that ramp, but generally you're not going to scout up there if you're scouting an empty main. So definitely a good choice by him. Interesting place for a proxy. It's gonna be interesting to see if map feature is gonna be used even more in this game. So nothing unusual yet. No forward SCVs running anywhere. No forward gateways or probes or pylons or anything like that. Uh,
Interesting supply depot placement. I wonder if he's going to use the barracks to the left and utilize the gap as part of a custom city.
yeah, that I think that's the play there. There was a map where this was a much more. There was a similar. How should I say this? This is the kind of wall that you would see on Katrina. We're using the gas and using putting the barracks on top, putting the depot because Katrina had a really interesting layout, wherein the main was like really narrow,
It was like
but really
compact
yeah, but
and
really long,
narrow.
right? Yeah,
Yup.
and that would allow you, and you had to kind of like wall your main as instead of walling your nat basically,
Right.
and using the gas and the barracks on top was kind of the play. But we do see him placing the barracks to the right instead, and from M shift we see two
A
gate,
double gate.
yeah, 10-12 gate zealot. I think I like this pick on this map
For an
because
opener, and considering that there's no ramp,
yeah, no ramp, and unlikely to wall from Proto. I mean from
yeah,
Terran.
he's forcing the initiative, which is something I do like for a game one starter.
Yeah,
And
and
you definitely, as a Terran player, don't see two gate too often
mhm,
as like a opener, unless it's like a proxy.
yeah,
So I want to see his response to this, and given that his SimCity is not ideal, this might cause a lot more damage than we should expect.
yeah, for sure. The on open maps, I definitely think that at least me as a Protoss, I mean Terran player, as a non-Terran player who plays Terran sometimes, let's put it that way,
Mhm.
I would always wall on open maps. I know that the
Yep.
Dragoons can range the depots. I know that it might not be that clean. It might be not that economic. It might annoy you later in terms of moving units out of your base, but the advantages like the advantage of not having to deal with zealot harass on a
It's
rampless map,
huge.
it's
Yeah.
big. Yeah, you have to be really good at marine micro to hold on without a wall
Yeah, and
against
like
zealots.
going back to Marine Micro at this level of play, you
Yeah.
might not have the execution to both micro and keep your build order at a
Hmm.
reasonable timing. So this can definitely be in favor for MShift.
Yeah, and he keep scouting with the probes. Zella is in now. Factory is so far away from the barracks. It's going to be so hard to defend this factory. It is up now. I would like to see maybe a vulture against this in
Yeah, Vulture is
response.
critical for
Yep.
this. He does know that a second gateway is up now.
Yeah. And I mean, he could have been able to tell from the
Oh
timing of the
no,
two zealots
dude,
as
we
well.
don't see a gas behind the cybernetics core, which I assumed that he was
What?
GG. Wow.
That was, I think that was a little bit premature from Conway. You definitely, I mean, just with one vulture, you can honestly hold on to it. You can kill off a lot of zealots, and he still had his marines. I mean, obviously this one was about to die, but I think that it wasn't over. It was just
It might be just like a tilt thing, or
yeah, it
like
could be.
just get this game out of the way. Like, all right, I got this game.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that I guess like they didn't. He didn't veto this map out. Honestly, as Terran, I would probably veto this map out. As Shiro was saying in the last series, it's not the best map for TvP. There are
Yep.
options, but still. Let's see what he chooses. Crossing field in exchange. For
Only
his
thing, only thing, for MShift was he didn't build a gas behind the core.
the what?
He didn't build a gas behind the cybernetics core.
Yeah, that was
And
a little suspect.
if he did do that, I think he just might have won outright. Because after the initial zealot pressure, you delay the tank, and then you have two more goons pop out with whatever remaining zealots you have.
Yeah.
So other than that, great opener. I
On
do, I do, I do like it.
on the other hand, though, like if the vultures are unlikely to die to zealots unless you really mess up, and he's gonna have vultures out well before dragoons. His mine is gonna be delayed, but the dragoons and the range is gonna be delayed as well.
Hmm.
So mines would have been probably enough to hold after getting rid of the zealots, I think. So it could have kept going. I mean, not Terran definitely left a little bit too early there.
For sure, for sure.
All right, so let's see how it goes on crossing field. Last time we saw a very macro-oriented game, which I think lends itself to this map, or rather, the map lends itself to that style. So let's see if we're going to see something similar again. We see Conway as the orange Terran on the left-hand side.
On the right hand side, we have the blue Protoss M Shift 2.
So same positions as last time for Phi and Shiro. It's going to be interesting to see how this game differs from theirs. On this map, I mean, to remind anyone, or to tell anyone who wasn't here for the first series that we covered, Phi went for a very Dragoon-heavy composition. MShift went for a 2-1 push. I mean, he went for like an FD that almost, a strong FD that almost made it to the Nexus, but didn't quite. Then he bounced back with a pretty strong 2-1 push, and the high grounds and the arbiters really made it difficult for him to push out any further, and
Mm-hmm.
Fi used that to ride his advantage to a win, I believe. And so it's going to be interesting to see how the Terran here either uses, abuses, or loses due to the terrain that we have on this map. I'm going to show you guys real quick. Is these high grounds here that are really useful for both defending and attacking for both Terran and Protoss to some extent.
Mm-hmm. I feel like whoever gets the ridge has the initial advantage in terms
Mhm.
of positioning and
Yeah.
containment.
Um, what else is there to say? The 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 position for the third gas, well, I guess it's technically the fourth gas, but if we count the fact that the natural gas, I mean, I'm sorry, the third base, well, the hidden natural, the safe naturals gas is only 2,000. You're gonna want that fourth gas as
Oh
Terran
wow,
soon.
definitely good, great detail to point out. I
Yeah,
didn't even notice.
yeah. So it's not a true third gas.
Right, so like I guess like it rewards the quick third, but it doesn't have its economic impact later throughout.
Yeah, so he's going to need a fourth base. The fourth bases might be a little bit tough to hold for Terran on this map, so I expect to see a 3-base push of some sort out of Terran on this map, and then use that to secure some ground area for a fourth base. Now, what are we going to see from our Protoss? We're going to see... I'm not a fan of this gateway placement, to be honest. It's so far back in the base. It's absolutely
Yeah,
unnecessary to be back here. Being
definitely
up
more
here would be...
forward, quicker rally.
Yeah, being up here would have been better.
And like why not? Because you have a safe expansion behind it.
Yeah,
So
and one thing to know is I think Conway is not very confident about his Sim City because this is the back, like the depot to the left of barracks doesn't do anything. It has to be to the right of barracks.
yep, always.
So the barracks placement itself is not bad. I believe it might be tight with this mineral. I'm not 100% sure on that, but depot to the right of that and then a factory to the right of the depot would have been the ideal
Yup.
layout there.
Shift the factory like 1 pixel to the left, and then depot to the right of the racks.
Yeah, it makes
That would
such a
have been a zealot proof.
Yeah, it makes a really fat zealot-proof wall. It helps you protect your factory and the SCV building it. Keeps you close to your mineral line and your gas. Definitely just so many advantages from that kind of placement. And in the meantime, we see, looks like it was 10-15 gate from our Protoss player MShift here. Only 2 probes on gas after starting range. This is the correct play here. When going 10-15, you take 1 probe off gas in order to... You don't need it for constant Dragoon production. What you need more is
Yep.
money, and what you want is to have enough income to transition well out of it. So this is I really don't. I don't think I agree with this build on this map. First of all, the natural does not need to be taken by turn. As we mentioned before, there is that safe natural back there. Pushing uphill, even with a 10-15, is incredibly difficult. And there's also the potential that Terran can just do a later wall up here. You can do it with, I think, just two depots can actually tight wall this ramp. Maybe two depots would leave a 1 unit gap, and that's not enough for 10-15 to push through.
Oh, it
So
looks like Conway is opting for a command center at his forward match, but he's going to be forced to live.
yeah, after
Not ideal.
yeah, after seeing a 10-15 gate, I would not go for the forward command center at all. That's for sure. I mean, maybe he's just being confident. Is he gonna if he's gonna siege expand behind this, then I think it could pay off. But he needs to put the SCVs back on gas to
Is
maintain
this
tank
like a pseudo
production.
10-15? Because it seems like he got a quicker Nexus, actually.
Mm,
Like maybe
yeah, it
like
is.
a force the threat of 10-15, but not really
Yeah, committing to
go too aggressive, and
yeah.
then just get an expansion.
That's
Force turn to play scared.
yeah, that's what it looks like. I mean, he is keeping constant Dragoon production, so somehow he managed to squeeze that Nexus in there. I think maybe he had to have taken a break for his
Yeah,
Dragoon
he
production.
definitely cut around the goons to get that extra 250.
It reminds me of the old version of the 1021. I mean, I'm sorry. What was it called? It's the old version of 21 Nexus used to get two gates but not build
Yeah,
any dragoons.
but it was enough to hold like a strong FD, right?
Yeah,
You get it just in time.
yeah. So it's kind of like a variation on that. I guess it's you cut a little bit of eco earlier, but then you get your Nexus a little bit later than 21 Nexus, but a little bit safer too. So
Right, right.
it's definitely it feels like a homebrew build of some sort, but it's not necessarily bad. And he still does have the ability to have map presence. Now, one thing I do want to note, Conway Twitty is building SCVs out of his command, or he was, I think.
Yep, I
He,
believe he was waiting for the second tank,
yeah,
playing it safe.
but that's a really good play when you build your expansion like this and you can't land it yet. A great play is to just start building SCVs on the high ground to start getting that eco advantage
Nice
earlier.
kiting, good fallback.
Yeah, and great placement from the tanks as well. Very safe placement. The command center does need to land though in order to start getting that economic advantage. Second factory on the way, so it is FAC CC FAC. Probably anticipating the macro-oriented play. It's very unlikely that you follow up 10-15 gate with DTs or with Reaver. So great read by him there. And the command center is going to land. The SCV transfer, I imagine, should be coming shortly. Hopefully. Maybe. No. It's going to be there eventually. It's going to be there eventually. But definitely a slight advantage to MShift. He is going to have the later scout. He is getting an early forge as well. This is I don't understand why. I don't understand the reasoning behind it. You know, like
Maybe threat of drop play. Seems like he has goons posted up at his main. The positioning implies that he is anticipating drop or
yeah.
preparing for drop just to be safe.
And honestly, this is not a bad idea. You don't have to be out front with all of your dragoons all the time. Just enough to like inform you of the fact that Terran is moving out with something.
Yep.
Just enough to prevent vultures from moving out freely and laying mines all over the map. You don't need all your dragoons there. Leaving some back in the base is a good call. But Forge and +1 this early, I mean Citadel behind that too. He has started mining his second gas, so maybe this is two base Arbiter, but with +1. We have Sudar Shana in the chat saying, "Yo, country play?" Question mark. Not sure what that means.
Maybe what country these guys are from?
I I don't know that answer. I mean, MShift was in the chat, so maybe he can answer. Conway Twitty, it does not sound like a foreign name. He might be.
Sounds American as fuck.
Yeah, straight up. I know a bunch of people with the last name Conway at
Alright, so
least.
we got a potential USA versus USA country team kill. Full
Yeah, USA baby for MShift. And
represent great USA.
And Conway Twitty looks like he's going for the yeah. There it is, the fast third command center. I like this play out of this. This is the advantage of taking this natural. It's much if you can manage to secure it with something like a siege expand, especially against like a 10-15 gate. You can take your third command center so much quicker and easier. In some ways, it is easier to take a natural than it is to take your third.
I do like to see Conway start utilizing his scan. They've been up, accumulated 30 energy per pop, just to get a gauge on what Protoss is doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Since he secured the third base, so now you just want to see is Protoss himself going for a third base? Fast 2-gate arbiter. You got to know this information.
Absolutely. Check the gateway count as well to know
Yeah.
what's viable for you as an option. If you
Oh
scan the
wow. MShift opts for fast obs.
Yeah, fast obs and fast zealot speed also. So getting all the upgrades really early, but the upgrades that really matter in this matchup are what's called, well, obviously you need observers, but the most important thing is to get to arbiters as fast as possible,
100%. Yep.
and delaying it to get +1 attack, getting observer speed, getting zealot speed before that even. Those are just unnecessary expenditures of limited
Right.
gas that you have. I mean, he is still has a decent amount of gas. He could build that starport and that Templar archives right now, but it also should be noted that he's building zealots against a build that doesn't really demand zealots. Also, he could be just building dragoons now as well. I mean, it's almost the opposite of what I'll call the SC syndrome, which is too many dragoons. He did not build enough dragoons before transitioning into zealot production. I feel like
Absolutely.
vulture heavy composition will could eat this up really quickly. And his third base is later than the Terran opponent. So while both players are doing that macro alone style that we've seen so far in the PVT series, I have to give the advantage to Conway here.
Yep, he's ahead economically. One problem is I do see that MShift, while he did opt for faster ops, he's not using that. So another common theme we seem to be seeing at the Rookie Star League Protoss level of play is that they're not getting the information that they need in order to react accordingly.
And there was actually talks recently in the foreign BW channel, maybe like a few weeks ago. They were questioning which upgrade do you get for your observers, when and why. And speed is not even necessarily the best upgrade to take against Terran.
Mm-hmm.
Observer range upgrade works better simply because even though the observer is slower than the dragoons, the extra range allows you to see ahead of your dragoons for longer.
Right, right.
And whereas the speed obs, it can run away from your dragoons at the critical moment.
I personally like to get observer speed just because I feel like it reinforces my in a way. I'm not as good when Terrans are very mine heavy and have like heavy map presence. So I like to use that speed observer to just like catch them and see where they're mining. I feel like slow obs definitely takes a lot of micromanagement, at least from my perspective. But you are correct that obs range is more beneficial in the long run.
Now, one thing I do want to note, since we have the luxury of comparing these two series back to back, this that was called the Sim City from our previous Protoss and Terran players. No offense to Conway or MShift at all, the Sim City was definitely better.
Yep.
If you look at MShift's base, he has 3 gateways down here, and 2 of them are basically mannered, like the dragoons are gonna come out off the right side, and they have to walk all the way around. And then he has
Mm-hmm.
3 more up here, and there's like these random spaces to the left of them that are not necessary. So with just 6 gateways, he's already kind of like, I don't know what the real word for it is, but he's kind of like used up the space that he could use to make like 10 gateways, you know?
So, as per our SimCity rating tradition, how would you grade these players?
This Protoss Sims, I don't want to say, dude. And all right, let's just talk about the Terran. The Terran, the same situation. Like the factories are kind of like in this
Yeah.
nonsensical line. Like,
Yep. Like
yep,
the depot and armory and academy placement, I would like to see them more north, and then
yeah,
use the like where the factories are strictly for factories.
yeah,
Like keep your production facility and supply and tech buildings like separately.
and close to the ramp as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and you can honestly, both gateways and factories, you can pretty much build in boxes, right? Like
In boxes. Yep.
if you have the right pylon layout, if you have the right amount of space, you can just build boxes of them, and that makes macros so much easier.
Usually like in boxes of like 2 by 2, right? For
Yeah,
gateways.
or more. You know, I
And
mean,
for factories, I believe like you line up your add-on factories like in one,
mhm,
and then just box up the vultures in 2 by I guess X,
yeah.
depending on how many factories you get for vulture production.
You can even do a 3 by 3 with one of the factories missing, usually the one on the bottom right. A 3 by 3,
Yeah, that
yeah,
works.
yeah. And then you use the add-on factories. And you can actually do a 3 by 3 with 3 add-ons on the right side, and then leave a gap between the bottom 2,
Hmm.
and that way you have a total of 3 add-on factories and 5 no add-on factories per box of 3 by 3.
And while
But
we're talking about
yeah,
SimCity, it seems like MShift is going for the initiative right here. No
yeah,
mines in sight.
yeah. Not enough mines against this zealot heavy composition. Zealots proving their worth here, and this is something that I hope Fi is going to take the time to look at later.
Absolutely. This is the difference maker right here.
Yeah,
Pure goons would have been annihilated by that.
yeah, but there is still a lot of dragoons here, and now this is the point where the trade is starting to get bad for the Protoss. When your zealots are all dead, that's the cue for you to go back home and wait for the next wave. and he doesn't have enough Dragoons to continue pushing this. And there's a lot of stuff coming out from Conway uphill now. The mining at the third base got denied for a little bit, but I'm not sure if that was worth it. I think over investing in that attack made it like go back to even
But we
basically.
do have reinforcement units coming. Healthy amount of zealots relative to composition.
Yeah, we have a war probe as well as the zealots.
The
Uh,
war probe is key.
yeah, war probe has slightly more. Oh wait, he keeps getting baited back into this engage. He does trade a zealot for Goliath, which is not bad.
Maybe I'll wait for. Oh, he does have 3 storms, 4 Templars at his natural.
Holy
This
crap!
could be huge.
They have a lot of
they're at two
energy.
storms each. Yeah.
So this is a Templar style play that you really rarely see nowadays, but it is or at least was a viable style of play to do. Instead of going for Arbiters, you go for early Templar to win some mid-game
Okay.
engagements.
And
But
I'm assuming with shuttle, right?
not necessarily shuttle. You obviously it's a good thing to add, but it's not absolutely necessary. It's mostly because
Okay.
EMP is usually not out at this time. It is now.
Around when was this? Like, when would Protoss is up for
I
this?
mean,
Or is this like a
pe-
niche thing?
people still do it. I think it has to like meet some requirements in the early mid game, like like for whatever reason your Stargate got delayed and then you needed to make the
Right.
Templar in order to defend or something. I don't know. Um, I don't think people like directly opted for it that often. Usually people, I mean, carrier play was more popular for a while, but I'm just saying like, yeah, people still do it. It's just not that common, and I think
Hmm.
that it could pay off depending on how the control goes. But I do want to note that I have to give props to Conway. I mean, he got his fourth up relatively early. I think like this is an early fourth, and he
Yep.
managed to hold on to it for now. And he's doing good in terms of pushing forward. He's pushing forward with turrets, bringing the floating buildings and the vessels to see uphill. And once he takes this hill up here, this ridge, I think he'll be in a really good spot to hold on to his 4 bases. Adding more factories now. Layout's still not the greatest, but definitely keeping his money low anyway. So I feel like MShift is kind of. He did get some decent trades, but he's economically disadvantaged, and that's going to show more and more as time goes on. MShift saying in the chat, just give it to me, call me trash. Nah, calling people trash doesn't give any benefits. We could just talk about the ways in which you're trash. That's what really helps, you know?
At the end of the day, if you're not a pro gaming team house, we're trash.
Yeah, that's my belief. Did we talk about that in a previous cast, or I think I've been talking
Most
about
likely.
I've been talking about this recently, like in many different areas, right? Because like I honestly believe that everyone who is in CPL and coaching CPL, we're all just garbage players, to be honest.
Dude, even like the top foreigners, dude, at
Yeah,
best, they'd be washing toilets at team houses.
exactly. Yeah, so like we're all really not that great, so it's not a big deal. Like on the
Play for
grand,
fun, guys. Play for the love of the game.
yeah, on the grand scale of things, like we're closer to a first day noob than we are to Bisu, I think. So,
Facts.
so yeah, don't worry too much about it. It's about emulating the greatness. Oh, okay, careful with the mines. Okay, Zealots eat a lot of those mine shots. Definitely better
I
than.
do like the mines and retreat.
Yeah, that's a
Good
good
move,
call.
good move.
And yeah, I mean, think about how much damage he just picked off. Oh my god, he killed a couple of zealots, injured a bunch
So one
more.
thing I want to point out is a lot of Terran players at this level seem like composition is not ideal. It seems like when you get to the late 2-1 phase of the game, they're a lot more tank heavy than.
I think that comes down to macro because what happens is I think a lot of people they cycle through their factories, they only add one tank and one vulture to each factory, not knowing that it takes just as long to build 2 vultures as it does one tank, right? So they're constantly producing only one vulture per factory, and then the factory goes idle
Right.
and one tank. So they become very tank heavy, and that delays their max out timing. But this is now 2-2 actually, not 2-1.
Very strong push up
And he
ahead.
is almost maxed. Yeah, 180 supply. A little bit later than you would normally expect, but I think this
It
has
looks like he's
potential.
opting for the slow crawl, yeah.
This is good.
I would
I
love
like
to
this.
see him take the high ground and
Hmm.
then go from there. Play
Yeah,
some mines as well.
yeah, he could have slow crawled through the bottom. Actually, I think that might have been a better option for him while holding
Yep.
the high ground. There's no real need for him to go down here. I think just taking the high ground and securing the base at like 5 o'clock as his fourth would be. I mean, his fifth would have been a good pickup. But now we have an engage
Fatty
coming in.
EMP.
Nice
One thing I
EMP.
want to note, dude, I don't see any Arbiter tech in sight, not even a Stargate. Oh, we do
Yeah,
see Arbiter tech actually, but nothing in production. This is
has
not going to work out.
we haven't seen any storms actually, and wow, this 2-2 melted those EMP'd units. I think without EMP, that could have gone really way worse for Terran. But because those tanks were pretty much naked, right? Uh,
Right.
okay, now we have the Templar right here. Is there another EMP available? There are 3 more EMPs
Oh my
available for
god,
these
this is
Templar.
dangerous. Gotta be careful.
This is not enough tanks to be moving out on its own. It needs support units, it needs vultures, needs more tanks to be coming with it. He's kind of getting it too spread out. I think. So there is a possibility for MShift here to wrap around, especially with some good storms.
Yeah, this storms will be key here.
All right, let's see it. No EMP on this
One
forward
get
vulture.
shot. One more.
Nice
Let's go.
storm.
One more goes down, but he only gets one storm in time.
If he used both groups at the same time, this position would have been dead. I think it still might be dead, but if he used both at the same time, it
No
definitely would
vultures
be.
to reinforce, and he does have two
Storm.
Templars out
Storm.
back. This is critical.
One
There
storm,
we
nice.
go. One more. There we
Oh,
go.
very sick
Another
storm.
two would be nice, considering they have the energy to spend it.
Yeah, but
He
great.
does get mileage out of two storms. That's crazy.
Yeah, but oh, nice pickups with the vultures too, making some benefit out of the what's it called out of the fact that even though he lost the position, lost some tanks, he did snipe all the Templars. So that's like 6 Templar down the drain, I think. Sure, you may
Only
say,
was able to use like 3 to 4 storms, I think.
yeah, sure, you may saying that he's almost maxed, but his army doesn't seem that big. Is it only me? He might have had the over SCVing issue, although I don't really see it. I think it's the fact that there's like units kind of like spread out
He
everywhere.
has
Like
scattered. He has 4 tanks at his 4th.
Four more
Random
tanks to the
rogue
right.
units.
Yeah, 4
like
more
3
to the right.
vessels.
Yeah, at 4 vultures.
Like this all adds up. You gotta group your units always.
Yep, exactly. When you're making the push, you got to put it all together, basically. And it should be noted that he's not going for +3 attack right now, I believe.
The Arbiter is out.
No, or here he has it. Here he has it.
Starting.
Yeah. Never mind. My bad. My bad. I see that he has +3 already. Arbiter's added, you said, but there's already 3 vessels with like they already have the energy
might be a
upgrade.
little too late
And
if this push goes.
yeah, 4 base Protoss versus 4 base Terran, and also 9 gates against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 facts, not a good trade. You know what I'm saying? You want to be at least 20, 25 gates by this point in the game. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. I do like his composition more. It is quite zealot heavy, but that works out because there's not enough vultures, as you said earlier. Zealots also a lot better against Terran armies in lower numbers, I believe. Like,
Yeah.
like if there's not that much Terran, Zealots trade a lot better than.
Like I
there's
feel
a
like
lot of
Terran Army has like a compound effect where like the more you have, the harder it is to kill.
Nice EMP.
Nice EMP. Yeah.
Yeah. The probes are being forced to not transfer. That means that he's not going to get all he wants from that 4th base. And it looks like... Oh, no, no, I thought that was going to be an SCV there. But here comes the run-in with the Zealots. Zealots don't want to be on A move right now. They want to get closer to the tanks. They want to get on top of the tanks, force the tanks to damage their own army with it. And this is going to get pushed back like pretty convincingly, I think.
Wow, but more reinforcements on the way
Yeah, and a command center being pushed up here. This is a confident command center.
for sure.
And
This
once-
is the I'm gonna win command center.
Yeah, and it should be noted although that this geyser is also only 2,000 gas. The
wow.
base that he's looking at 11 o'clock with his vessel there, that one has 5,000. So just another thing to consider.
Great stasis.
Yeah.
He needed that, but it might be a little too late.
Yeah, and the positioning of this stasis is really good because you always want to stay
but
still instead of back.
we also see reinforcement units at MShift's. He needs these right now. He can't just push like one by one.
Yeah, running in with 12 units at a time in PvT rarely works, but it seems like he's putting a dent. It seems like both players are just kind of rallied here, and they're just going to fight. They're going to scrap it out with whatever is coming their way. This macro round is going to get taken down. Nice vessel snipe, but it's not going to be enough. And yeah, it looks like Conway Twitty holds on. He has the base advantage in PvT, which is always really a great feeling for Terra.
Comfortably mining on full 3 base, or like more like 2.5.
Yeah.
4th just started, or 5th rather.
And yeah, these groups of 12 units are now like getting worse and worse overall. Nice EMP again, just in case that had a recall in it or something annoying to force the Terran back in that situation. Overall, Conway Twitty is definitely taking control of this game, but he's still struggling to take this high ground. I feel like even with just these Zealots and Dragoons, he could be able... Oh, there's some tanks over here randomly. Yeah, so this is where the Zealot strength really is. It's in low number, low support unit TVP engagements. Like, that was a fantastic trade for MShift.
Yeah.
He's 50 supply down, but that was a fantastic trade. He killed like, what, like 7, 8 tanks, traded only non-gas units for it. But it's not like gas is his limitation.
There we go.
either.
This is the vulture reinforcement he needed.
This is gonna stop this very zealot heavy composition from MShift. When you see your opponent going very, very zealot heavy, it's not a problem to just wait for like another 20 vultures, and then suddenly all those zealots become they feel very feeble
for sure.
Yeah.
And as we see, MShift is on his way to brokenness. Only two mining bases, but he's spending so much money on units that he's constantly sacrificing.
Yeah, 12 units at a time is not
And
going
it's
to
just
stop
adding
this.
up economically.
Yeah. And he's almost broke. He's still 50 supply down, and Conway has to be feeling good. And yeah,
Yup,
there's the
that's the
GG.
GG.
As Conway was also taking this expansion at the bottom. All right, so since, like I said before, we have the luxury of comparing this series to the previous one. I talked about how Conway's factory placement, definitely not on Shiro's level, but his expansion timing is so much better than Shiro. So
Yeah,
it
it feels like Shiro, once he got the initial 3 base, 2-1 maxed army,
yeah,
he didn't react by getting a fourth on top of pushing. It
yeah.
seems like that's kind of where his limit and comfort zone was.
And it should be noted, I mean, like the reason why I point that out is not to say like, oh, you're bad at this, oh, you're good at that. It's kind of like so that there's people can witness how low level players have different skill sets, right? Like there's some things
Right.
that much more of a disparity in skill sets than people who are higher level. People can be at the same level at the low level, let's say 1400 MMR, because of completely different specialized skill sets. Now,
Exactly.
the way that you grow is by fixing those parts of your play that are falling behind, right?
Like I feel like Shiro was good up to the point he got 3 base,
Mm-hmm.
2-1 push, whereas Conway was much better with utilizing his higher tier tech.
Yeah,
Um,
late game
like
expansions.
I
Yeah,
guess like yeah, late game like small army what is it, Scrabble
yeah. So
and all that.
if
So
you combined, what I'm trying to get to finally is like if you did a fusion dance between Conway and Shiro, you would get yourself like an 1800 Terran, I
for
think.
sure, no
Yeah.
doubt, no doubt.
You just need to add a little bit of this, add a little bit of that, and you become so much better. So focusing on your cleaning up your weaknesses and especially seeing them side by side presented, like I feel like this is a great opportunity for our players here. And speaking of our players here, we do have MShift, the brown Protoss, at the top left position.
Yep. On the bottom right, we have the orange Terran Conway Twitty.
Yeah, Shiro says, I always forget to use my vessel. Yeah, it's so important to use vessel. And you notice that Conway even got the energy upgrade for his vessel and like quite early too. That's really
Yeah,
useful because if you cast two EMPs, which sometimes happens, let's say you miss the first one, you get juked out and you cast the second one, your third EMP after that is going to be so much faster because energy builds quite slowly in Brood War. Having that 50 banked up, quite useful. So this map is Heartbeat. We already saw a game on this. We saw Phi go down in game one against shit.
Essie?
No,
No,
no, no. Phi SC against Shiro.
versus Shiro.
I just
Yep.
talked about it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Um, and it was largely because of the inconvenient third bases. I mean, SC didn't manage to hold on to his third base that was on the high ground that was a little bit in the middle of the map. He didn't manage to hold on to his probe count or the Nexus at the island base. So definitely gonna be interesting to see how it plays out in this game. Are the players going to be using their terrain to their advantage in this case? Are the players going to be taking those island bases? And honestly, cross map as well still favors Protoss a bit more in this situation. I feel like because this open, as we said earlier, is quite open. It's not huge, but it is in some areas it is quite huge actually. Like looking at this chunk of area in particular, just not a single terrain feature in sight. This is open flanking season, so maybe gonna see a slightly more cagey game than we saw in the Fiverr Shiro game one because the Terran might not want to push across this vast expanse. Might want to kind of turtle push and take half the map. We'll see.
A
Okay.
much better SimCity placement from Conway this
Yeah,
time around.
yeah. I was just looking at that right now. It's definitely much better. And then you could probably put the factory right above that Rax, right? Because
Right.
yeah, that would be a decent placement for it. It's a little bit far from the ramp, a little bit annoying positioning, but it's not horrible. I've also seen people place their racks and depot kind of above the gas area, because
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
to get that first factory closer to the ramp. That depot does get annoying later, but you can always kill it if you want to, or I mean, you lift the racks and then you can put a factory there to the left of it. Not a big deal, and there goes the factory in a decent spot right there. Very nice. Crusoe,
So
thank you for the follow.
so far, very standard opening from both players. I do see that Conway does not opt to pull out any SCVs from gas, so
Yeah,
interested to see if he opens a second factory or even a start.
yeah. It looks like a bunker actually.
I wonder if that was a misclick.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more likely if you're using grid hotkeys, for example, like because in original like 1.16, you would never misclick a bunker instead of a depot, right? Because it's like BD
Right.
versus, or is it BS? No, is it BS?
He might have hockeyed to like BB or
Yeah,
something, and then double clicked B or something.
or like I said, grid, where it's you only use QWE, ASD, and ZXC
Yeah.
for all
Is
abilities and
what is it?
units.
Are hockey remappings common for newer players?
Yeah, everyone's remaps. And
Dude,
it,
damn. I'm still OG with it.
of course, yeah, we already have it to muscle memory. We don't count. Someone called me a boomer in CPL chat for saying that I don't remap my hotkeys. They called me a baby
Yo,
boomer.
there's this jelly that they can't 0p 9p.
Mm, you're right.
This
You're right.
bunker definitely I feel like might be a hockey issue or hockey remapping issue.
Or maybe he just remembers the two gate from last game. Well, I mean from game one, right? And he remembers like how hard it was for him to hold. Uh, with no Sim City, and because
Oh,
this is a map that has the what's called low ground. There's no ramp here, so and yeah, the second
he
factory.
does opt for a second factory.
It's very late though. I mean, second factory should be coming before the second depot, definitely before a bunker, and definitely before a third depot. So this is a really late second factory. I don't think he's gonna get much mileage out of it. On the other hand, though, this is DT, straight up DT, coming out of MShift, and the Zealot Dragoon wall on the ramp. I mean, in the entrance, I really like this. Prevents the SCV from coming in. He's gonna go look around right now for this. This is dangerous, actually. The SCV could run by this. Oh, and he reacts. He knows. I would totally wrap around and go back and double
Yeah,
check
this
that
is
shit.
especially if you see a zealot, definitely
Yeah,
something fishy going
it's
on.
like yeah, sus.
Normally, I would like to see a second gateway behind this Dark Templar push,
Mm,
but I do like this as well. One gate Dark Templar into quick expand.
yeah,
I do see some players going for that as well.
yeah. One,
I know behind this, some players do like fast two base arbiter,
yeah,
and the first DT is just like a measure of wasting Terran resources
yep.
through mines or turrets. So good
Yep.
play.
Yeah, absolutely. One gate DT into expand is definitely more common, I think, than two gateway DT. Two gate DT is more of like a commitment,
For sure.
and as you said, going into the fast arbiter behind it is also very common. We don't see that though. He could actually have added a Stargate already,
Yeah.
but
Isn't that like the 28 Stargate or 29 Arbiter that like flashed a while back? Or is this something different?
yeah, it's different, but you don't need it at 29. I mean, obviously he's already at 41, but I'm saying that he could have actually started the Stargate already, and I
Dude,
don't.
this Mind Clear, while he lost his Dragoon and like his Zealot is hurt, he
Hmm.
could just run in.
Yeah,
I'm not
this
sure
is
if Conway has
at the same time Conway is.
limits, but he does have the Academy coming up,
He's
so...
also wrapping around with vultures, and there's absolutely no defense.
Oh god.
So this could be an interesting scenario here. I don't think the DTs could outperform the vultures in terms of killing probes. I mean, killing SCVs
But the
rather.
Vultures are going back. I'm
Yeah,
not sure if I agree with this.
yeah. I would have run in. I would have at least tried to run in. Six vultures can take out one dragoon. You could run into the mineral line and trade really well. No comsat coming up on either base. It seems like yeah.
Second DT on the way.
Oh,
Nice.
the mind drags hurt so
Great
much
splash
actually.
damage,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this look, I'm surprised that Conway left in game one, but he's sticking around for this. You know, maybe he
And
knows.
even with the Academy, no scanner in sight.
That's
He might be in panic mode.
yeah. The panic mode is serious right now.
Oh my god. Dude, I don't know, dude. These four vultures, they should have just run by and lay mines,
Hmm.
cause damage on his own. But instead, he's the only one losing workers at this
Hmm.
point.
Yeah,
Not able to do any mining whatsoever.
yeah.
Still no scanner in sight.
But MShift at the same time though, he's not taking advantage of his position quite well. He's not macroing all that great. He hasn't transferred probes to the natural. Still not teching to Arbiter, even though he has the perfect platform to do so. He's focused entirely on this micro, but it's gonna run out of time soon. That DT goes down. This DT is gonna run into mines, run right into the mineral line, run right into no.
Yeah, that's it for DTs.
Yeah, so I mean,
The damage was definitely done, but I feel like he didn't capitalize behind this.
yeah,
Whether he got another expansion behind it or even quicker.
yeah. Words out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, still no scan from Conway. Definitely
Yeah,
needs
dude,
it
if I was
badly.
Conley, I'd be shitting my pants.
Hmm.
Getting that quick scanner just to see what the toss is up to. Because the moment I see DT, the first thing I think of is two base.
Hmm. Yeah, and he is going for a robotics facility instead.
Interested to see if he's gonna go for a shuttle behind that,
DT
and
drop
maybe
now
even
to follow
further
on.
his DT drop. Yeah,
Just when you thought it was over, they pull you back in.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I've been there.
And yeah, no turrets or scanners still. So a DT drop could still be effective here. Armory coming up now instead of an engineering bay. Oh no, he has an engineering bay in the natural, but just no turrets in the main. Kind of risky considering the fact that DT's just kind of fucked up his day a little bit, you know? I would like to see at least a scanner or maybe a turret there. But so far for MShift, just adding gateways, got his revised, adding the observatory, and yeah, as you said, I feel like he could have gotten so much more out of this. And wow, Conway,
Wow, Ninja third. I
that's
like this.
I like it too, and I feel like I would have liked it better if MShift had the Ninja third given the
Yeah,
position in the game. But this is one way to climb your way back in for sure. Not gonna
it's like,
deny it.
oh, like you think I'm behind? Just wait.
Now MShift going for his patented was speed of both the zealots and the observers at the same time, and he's just now
Yeah,
gained dragoon range as well. It should be noted, so maybe that's why he hasn't been kind of pressing his advantage too much, knowing that he's extra susceptible to mines and any sort of aggression from Terran at this point. But Terran, he only has like 3 tanks, 6 vultures. I think a third base could have easily been justified here. Maybe that's what the
yeah,
shuttle is for. Ooh, DT drop, DT drop. Bring a probe with this and take your island. That's what I want to
very
see.
nice. I would love to see that.
Yeah. Or even better, take a different island. Take like the island that's next to Conway's
Oh, that'll
hidden.
be next level, dude.
Yeah, hidden island might be the play. But now he's kind of stalling with this. I like the fact that there's 2 zealots in there also. Zealots can be used to defuse the mines and to kind of do distraction damage to the
Looks like, yeah,
vultures.
he's opting for a 9 o'clock expansion instead of the island. Not a bad choice, but I would have liked to see the island. Like I said before, it's like the 2-for-1. Get the
Yeah.
harass, get the expansion,
Also, this first pylon that you placed next to the Nexus, definitely on the ramp would have been better, I think.
for sure, for
Prevent
sure.
prevent the run bys a little bit. Place cannons there. And is he gonna see this hidden expo from Conway? Because
Wow.
very
Works out in
rarely,
his favor.
yeah, you very rarely send your let's call it your shuttle in this kind of way, like all the way to the bottom left corner, all the way to the bottom right corner. You kind of just like you at first avoid like the obvious spots where Terran might have vision, like in the middle of the map, but you don't have to go all the way this way. And okay, yeah, dropping the zealots, but
Nice. I like that he's going elsewhere with the 2 DTs.
yeah,
Make him worry about 2 points instead of very nice play.
yeah,
Forces the lift,
yeah, because the lift would have made the DTs invalid, and then the
for
Terran would
sure.
have known what's inside the shuttle.
But
Um,
Conway, nice proactive approach, bringing the tanks back. He does have enough scans to fend this off, but
mhm.
still no turret in sight.
No, he has one right next to his main TC now, and he's
Oh,
building
I
another one.
see.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's building another one here now. I
I
don't.
do like this proactive play though.
Yeah, I think Conway. It was kind of like a mixed bag for him. He found the third that was hidden, and he denied it, but he's not gonna get anything done with these DTs. I don't think. I would just leave. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's time to
nice, very
go.
nice, very
Nice
nice.
leave. Right outside the range of the turret as well. Just dip out, man. Just keep it around. Make it annoying. And oh my god, at the same time though, Conway is denying the third base from MShift, who also took it at the other main.
That's his fourth.
Oh no, that's his fourth. Yeah, you're right. All right,
Yep.
yeah, he does have the third base. It's under defended though, critically here. Like if the vultures wrap around, could do damage, and I would love to see these vultures target this nexus as well. Dragoons are gonna run in. No mines left on these vultures, unfortunately. And this is kind of what I mean with the speed observer. You notice how he just kind of like ran ahead, and like it wouldn't
Yeah.
have been able to see any
It
mines.
might have been danger if he didn't control it.
Yeah. These vultures are still slow vaults, should be noted, and Conway is actually floating like an uncustomary amount of minerals. He wasn't
He's
floating that
still
much.
on 2 factory. I wonder if he's so concerned about that DT harass. It kind of set him behind. Like he's like in unfamiliar territory. Like he has like a standard build order, and then like
Yeah,
DTs just throw him out of the loop.
yeah, absolutely. He's at half the supply of the Protoss.
Yeah, at this point, he needs to either expand or get like three to four factories added. Go for a
Yeah,
timing push. But due to the stage of the game, I would actually prefer him to go for a third CC, which he does actually.
yeah,
He lifts his command center from 7 o'clock, floats it all the way to the island.
but no,
But he
no,
does not have a dropship.
yeah, no
Yeah,
dropship. He's just now building the starport, and he's adding 3 factories, so it looks like he's
I'll
gonna be doing a bit of
probably
both.
float it to 6 o'clock because time is of the essence.
Yeah, you can see him. He's not happy about this
Dude, this
situation.
It's seen some shit.
He's going to 6 o'clock actually,
Yeah,
which is better I think than going for 3 o'clock.
positionally not ideal.
Yeah, it's closer flight distance, but yeah, positionally not ideal, and he doesn't really have the army to back it up or to defend it. I think he's just gonna hope for it not to get found. And speaking of not being found, I know I've advocated for this multiple times throughout all the series that we've casted, but this zealot at the bottom left, just have it patrol to 6 o'clock from here to 6 o'clock, and then you cover all
Yeah.
three bases. You never get sneaky expo on that way.
So one thing to note, for MShift at 9 o'clock, he did build 3 cannons. I feel like this could have been mitigated just by building pylons, because one, you do need pylons anyway, and then
Mhm.
two, like we said, use that extra income for additional gateway.
But speaking of additional income, he's not floating that much money, and
No, very
think
solid macro.
I
I feel like
think
the SimCity might actually be helping him right now.
no, I think it's what it is just not enough probes. He has 11
Not
probe.
enough
He
probes.
has 11 probes in the main mineral line. He has, I would say, like 15, 12, 14 in the natural, and then another 9, so that's 32 probes mining minerals, and then add another 3. So he only has 35 probes on mineral right now, which is not acceptable for 14 minutes. You want
Makes
to be at like
sense.
65, 70, so that's why his money's so low. If he had like another 30 probes, I think that would be his good max out, and he would be like, well, maybe not 30, like let's say 20. He would be in a much better position economically. And here we're seeing the Phytrus cannons. That's what I'm calling them from now on. Look, at the top right, 4 cannons in kind of like this arc, not even covering the entirety of the mineral line, just kind of like preemptive. Phytrus in the chat saying, "Oh God, I'll never live it down." I'm gonna keep reminding you until you impress me so much
Yeah,
that I
that's how you
forget.
get better. It's like, yo, I don't want fucking Chobo to tell me I'm making too many cannons. I'm gonna prove him wrong.
Exactly, you'll never forget
Yo,
it. I know.
take these 6 gates, my guy.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And now, by the way, it should be noted that MShift, great map awareness. It looks like he did take away the 6 o'clock hidden expansion as well. It's not gonna kill Conway. I mean, he does have the dropship now, and he can take the what's called the Island Expo now, but still hasn't landed it, and he just doesn't feel like he's ready for the late game right now. He's still down like 80 supply.
The CC finally lands for Conway.
Hmm.
This heroic ninja command center.
And MShift, very much like I said again, like the Phytrus issue. You have only 7 gateways, and you have a bunch of cannons. Like those 7 cannons that you've made so far total could have all been gateways.
Yeah, and still no Stargate in sight,
Yeah.
despite a quick DT open.
Hmm. And 6 factories for Terran now. So even though he can't kill the Protoss, even if he trades like favorably once, 7 gateways is not going to be enough to reinforce. And I think that with 6 factories, he can start steamrolling on a decent advantage rather. But MShift now taking both mains. I like this move. I would like to see some gateways added as well.
I do like the fact that he took the other main as well,
Hmm.
because it forces a Terran to commit to one expansion,
Hmm.
and like while he's doing that, Protoss can safely expand to the other
Yep.
naturals. Very good play.
I would like to see.
It's a very positional based play, I feel like.
Mhm. He has decent vision of the map if we turn off vision from I'm sorry, from Conway for a little bit, but it feels like it's in all the wrong places. There's no
It's
vision of the
more of like a
factories.
defensive vision instead
Yeah,
of offensive, and just
exactly.
catching where Terran might send his vultures or
Yeah,
forces.
yeah. You want to have vision right here where I'm looking at. You want to have vision right here in the main, and then I would have vision like here or on the island or like just patrolling between the two. So definitely a lot of players that we've seen today could work on their vision. I mean, Conway doesn't really have the opportunity to have vision because he hasn't had an army that could give him map presence for a while. Can't lay mines when you don't have enough vultures to do so. But it looks like he's starting to move out now, and like even though MShift is banking up, even though MShift is maxed out, slowly but surely this mech army is gonna trade better and better against Protoss. It is at 1-1 right now, and
Different change of pace. We do see that MShift opts for a carrier opening off 2 star.
yeah, and it looks like Conway's aware because he has a decent amount of Goliaths,
Yeah,
but he's not pumping more though. So I think maybe those are just like kind of like the general Goliaths you add to your army. He just adds them a little bit
I do
early.
also like that Conway is pushing his army out instead of being so contained at his choke,
Yeah,
just so that he has a little more map.
and
Would love to see more minds behind this.
I would like to see him push maybe Oh no, he is pushing towards another main. But he's taking the 6 o'clock. I was thinking that he would more likely push towards top right, and take the 3 o'clock, just because the ramp is facing
Hmm.
in a more favorable angle for him. It's a quicker for him to resupply to that location. But okay, this walk in
Ooh,
from M,
unnecessary.
yeah.
Unnecessary.
And as I said before, right, with only 7 gateways, how fast can MShift really remake Army, right? I mean, even with 2 Stargate pumping carrier and 7 gateways, he still does not have enough to really contest a 6 fact production from Terran.
Wow, Conway has very good positioning
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
the siege tank spread is
This is
is
very,
fantastic.
very good. It pretty much covers all angles.
Just needs
And
turrets.
I
That's the
do
only thing
love the
missing.
turrets behind it, yeah,
Yeah.
which he's starting right now. This is good.
And I like the fact that he's expanding behind this again. Again, we talked about how this is definitely Conway's strength, is the fact that he's constantly trying to expand, or at least position himself so that he could expand. Laying mines and turrets here to expand with also. And yeah, I think now for sure with this, as I'm seeing more and more Goliaths come out for him, I think he has to be aware of the carrier switch right now. A couple more zealots running in here, not going to achieve much, and it's definitely crunch time now for MShift to add more
Yep,
gateways.
he has to.
He and as we were talking before about like strengths of one player from one series versus strengths of another player from another series, MShift should have the Fightress gateways to back this up. Not the
Yep.
Fightress 4 gateway play or the Fightress 5 gateway play, but the Fightress 25 gateway play from
Yeah,
crossing
and
field. Yeah,
alternatively, Fightress has or he needs to build more zealots like
yeah,
MShift does.
yeah,
Like a more varied unit composition. Like I
absolutely.
do like MShift how he has Goon Zealot
Hmm.
with Carrier on the way. Fortunately for him, he does build a lot of gateways at bottom left, which is
Yeah.
exactly what he needed.
Yeah, but also the cannons also. Yeah, the 3 cannons out here instead of the mineral lines. So that's something that they can both eliminate from their game a little bit. Not as many cannons. Cannons are still good. Don't get me wrong. They're good in some situations, particularly against drops. But they're not like a universal band-aid, everything fixed. I mean, even with 7,000 minerals, you still want to save some Mario for your remax. And this push, it's going to be hard to stop. There's mines all over the map, as we
Things are
said.
a little delayed.
Yeah.
He does know that he's attempting for a push, so I would love to see more mines to buy some. But he does need to get moving with these tanks. Let's see how many carriers he has. He has 2 done, 2 more on the way. So a bit more time till he gets a healthy composition.
Hmm.
Or I guess critical mass for carrier.
Yeah.
Rather.
Um,
Wow, and Conway's expanding behind this push. Very, very aggressive expander.
it's really good. I'm liking it a lot. Looks like there's going to be a sneaky attempt at running by, and this is the one place where there's really no mines here, so this Zealot run by could do something, but he's actually making wraiths, too, for the carriers.
Wow.
He's over-preparing, I think. This is not like 8 carriers just sprung up on you, you know what I mean? You're well-prepared. Like, your 3-3 mech should be good enough to hold this, and the Zealots end up not doing all that much despite the mines not being there. In the meantime, the bottom left is getting taken down. The gateways here are not producing. We're just kind of like a throwing away money. He mined only 100 minerals out of this base, so this is definitely going to be a minor loss for MShift, and he's going to try to defend it. The tanks are out of position, unsieged, but great reaction time from Conway here. No,
Carrier is just on the way, but I don't know if that's gonna be enough. Yeah, three, 2 Goliath and Wraiths on top of that. I'm
yeah.
not sure. He's gonna need Storm if he wants to do any meaningful damage.
Now, you were talking about critical mass of carriers. Generally, the agreed upon number from what I know is 4 or 5 carriers is when you can start using them really effectively in conjunction with a ground army. I think there's no like actual critical mass for if you're going pure carrier. Like, just more carriers is better. That's it. But 5 is
I
the
guess
minimum to
does
be
that
traded off.
apply more towards like if the player's opting for like a fast carrier build, where like he needs like he's going for like a 2 base carrier. Like
Uh,
usually like 4 is like the sweet spot.
well, for 2 base carrier, I feel like even just the first 2 carriers can be used well in what's called in a composition because of the fact that the enemy is unlikely to have good anti-air. Especially, I mean, first of all, earlier carriers means less gas for Terran to diversify the composition with Goliaths
For
and
sure.
tanks, and it also means that it's less likely to be scouted because less scanners for Terran, like less clues for Terran to pick up on. But all right, so Terran, I mean, he took down the bottom left base, and now he's going straight to the top right base, and I really like this from him. And look
Yeah,
at,
we do see a hero DT. I wonder how long it's gonna take him to notice. Okay, very
ooh,
quick.
Yes.
Conway's not fucking around right now.
Yo, nah, Conway's not taking no prisoners, bro. Uh, I mean, with these two bases dead, now we have to start being really concerned for MShift. He has the bank, doesn't have the gateways, doesn't have the future mining. He
Yeah,
does
but
have
how
six
long until
carriers.
he can sustain these interceptors? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a matter of time before the money pressures start hurting. But if all these tanks go down, because there isn't any like very much Goliath support here, all these tanks could die to this ground carrier force for sure. And now Templar added in the mix as well with full energy. So I'm really liking this from MShift. But look at this arc from these tanks. Jeez.
Dude, beautiful arc.
But yeah, he
Covers
doesn't.
all bases.
He doesn't need to go with the army, and I love the fact that he's waiting outside. There's just not enough here to prevent what's called the carriers from killing all these tanks. So now,
He does have raids. I wanna see him utilize that. MShift does have a decent amount of observers.
yeah,
Scans exactly for that, but I'm not sure if that's enough to wipe
seven
out both
observers.
the observer carriers. Yeah, 7 is a lot. He's not
Yeah,
fucking around, but
and this is becoming a lot of carriers now too. Seven carriers, seven observer. This is becoming harder to deal with, and I don't know if Conway could like Conway. I don't know if it was good to kill all those tanks just to trade for the Nexus. I mean, he didn't even take out all the gateways here. He took out two Nexi, but he lost like 12 plus tanks, and he has been expanding, but he kind of slowed down after the fourth base. It looks like he's trying to take this island base, but taking island is going to be more difficult against a carrier composition, right?
yeah,
So,
Conway knowing that 9 o'clock is MShift's last base, going straight for the kill.
that's a good call. And M-Shift should have honestly been on the island tip much,
Yeah,
much
no,
earlier.
especially if you're going carrier. I know Island is so effective for that.
Not just that, but DT drop into carrier. You have air all
Yeah.
game. He should have been taking islands all over the place, I think. And yeah, there are looks like wait, how many? Okay, eight wraith. Eight wraith is not gonna kill seven carrier and seven obs, unfortunately. But this ground army from Conway is still quite scary. Okay, he can't afford to lose these wraiths.
Okay, these cloaked rays. Let's see how much
Yeah.
damage they can do.
Ooh, the
Does he
observers are
scan
here.
for the obs?
No, he has
No,
to
he
go out.
doesn't.
He
He
has
runs
to.
away. Yep, he has to run.
And
This
ooh,
backstab with 2 Templars supporting it?
yeah.
It could do work right now.
All the Goliaths are out of
Yep, Conway
position.
has
The
to
vessels out of
force the
position.
retreat.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would have been a base race situation that I don't think Terran would have been in a great position to
Yeah.
win. Because, I mean, M-Shift still has a bunch of bank. He is still expanding.
Dude! Alright, so we gotta note one thing. MShift did not upgrade Interceptor store. He
What?
is sitting on 4
No,
Interceptors
no.
per
No, no, he
carrier.
has it. I just saw 5. He just lost a lot
Oh,
of
he does?
interceptors.
Okay, okay.
He must have just lost a lot of them. Or he maybe just got it, maybe?
Yeah.
Because I did see him on
Oh,
5.
nice storm. Nice storm on the Goliaths. But will that be enough?
I
Another
don't think so.
carrier
There's
goes
no
down.
kiting.
No carrier micro to
Yeah.
be seen.
He could be
Dude,
using
and the
water.
raids are running in right now. This might be it. Yup. He's gonna be forced to retreat.
Yeah, don't worry about the observers at this point. Just kill the carriers.
Nah,
There's
still
only a couple of them
carriers,
later.
especially if the carriers aren't moving and this is
Yeah.
open field.
I mean, it's still gonna work out. Actually, no, it doesn't. He could have killed all the carriers, but instead he killed a bunch of observers, and there's still 4 of them left.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, okay, the reinforcement Goliaths are gonna get it done, I think. There is still Storm on this Templar. A Storm right here would be nice. Zealots are running in. This is tight. This is tight.
This is going down to the wire, I feel like.
And I'm shifting the chat saying, not gonna
Oh,
lie.
and the Goliath flanking from the left.
True, true.
They will eliminate the last
Oh,
carrier.
nigga.
But 3 more to be seen, but I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to sustain this with such limited income. Only mining on 1 base.
Is that Bubba back there?
Yup. Yo, shoutouts to Bubba.
Yeah, shoutouts to Bubba. Alright, sorry guys. Anyway, it says, I remember trying to send probes there but couldn't send M-Shift. He didn't know that there were island bases. That's basically what happened. Like, so, lesson to take from that is, whenever you're about to play a series, learn the maps, you know, like, just load them up in single player, play around with them a little bit, no big deal. You know, just look around, you know, figure it out. Look up some, I guess, some VODs too. Now, it should be noted that M-Shift is now out of bank, and his third base only mining with like 12 probes and no defense there whatsoever. So this is still easily doable by Conway. Actually, he has the supply advantage, so I'm actually liking Conway's position here.
Yep, and like I said, not sure if he has the income to make more interceptors, especially with 3-3 Goliath. It's gonna melt away.
It should also be noted that he has 2 armor though on his carriers and his
Yep.
interceptors conversely as well. And armor is so good against Goliath, but now this push, I think that could be the GG for MShift.
Nice play from Conway, diverting attention to attack the 9 o'clock position and the top right.
Yeah, and this
Knowing that if he takes down all 3 Nexuses, this would be game for MShift.
and at the same time he's taking that island base and he's taking the
Wow.
bottom
And
left.
he handles the force at middle without a problem at all.
Wow, really nice play from Conway here. Definitely seeing a lot of the same stuff we saw from his TVZ.
I gotta say, I think his TVP might be a lot stronger than his TVZ, at least
Yeah.
like the way he's playing strategic.
Yeah, he expands better than he did in his TVZ. I remember him getting stuck on 2 base
Yeah,
for a lot, but the kind of like he had the Shiro Ime issue, but in TVZ, but in TVP, he's spreading out all over
the
the place.
last Nexus is going down.
He don't care. He's just spreading out.
Yep, that's GG.
That's GG and up 2-1 Conway. All right, going into what could be the deciding game number 4. Are we going to see game 5? Are we going to see Conway emerge victorious? We'll find out. Let's see what map that MShift chose. And it's going to be Fighting Spirit. Very appropriate. Pick your most convenient map at like the most pivotal moment of the series. Makes sense to me. Okay, and let's get right into it. All right, in the top right, we have MShift, the yellow Protoss.
And on the top left, we have Conway Twitty, Teal Terran.
Wait, did I say top left? If I said top left, I meant top
I
right.
think you said top right.
Okay, word.
Not that it matters.
Word. True. Yeah, everyone has eyes, you know.
True.
Well, okay,
Figure
no,
it
no,
out.
no, I'm sorry. All right, I take that back. Not everyone has eyes. That was really insensitive of me to say. I'm sorry. If there's any blind people watching, listening to this stream right now, I'm sorry.
Yo, now featuring Braille.
Now featuring Braille, yeah. Um, so let's see what MShift has for us in this game. I'm curious to see if he has something special planned, like if he, because a lot of people are going to be more comfortable on Fighting Spirit. They might have some
Yeah.
tricky builds that they know.
I do like his map choice too. He's like, alright, like I'm down 2-1, down to the wire. This is my last game.
Yeah.
Like he probably plays on FS the most, so he's going with what he knows.
And he's
hopefully.
gonna pylon scout actually, which is kind of interesting to me. Maybe he's just concerned about getting cheesed out early, or is this gonna be a proxy of some sort?
Wow, and for the first time, we see Conway opting for a wall.
And I don't think that this wall is well placed. I'm not sure if it's gonna tight wall.
I believe that works. No, I think it has to be 1 unit to the left.
Yeah, that's the one that's guaranteed tight wall. I know that diagonal barracks to depot works, for example, on the top right position of FS. You have to make that diagonal, but I'm not sure if it works in that direction.
I just have to see the racks placement. The second supply might be 1 too far to the right, but I have to see for sure. It's a little too hard to tell.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, it has to be 1 to the left.
Yeah, maybe the diagonal still walls. Maybe. We'll find out. He should be getting gas soon, so let's see. And so should MShift, actually. He's at 200 mils. Oh, he's going for 2 gate. The return of the 2 gate. He won with... Oh, and the first scout from Conway. He knows. And the wall is going to be... Oof. It's going to be rough for MShift. Going 2 gate against the wall, and he's not going to find him for a while. If he scouts bottom right with his probe and then sends the zealots to the wall of Conway, I think that's just going to put him so far back.
Yeah.
It's going to be really important to see how he transitions out of this. And here comes the wall. Oh, but the wall, if the wall is bad, right?
Oh my god, you do bring a good point.
If the wall is bad, this could work out for MShift.
Let's see if the SCV is able to go through, because that should be a good indicator.
Yeah, I think SCV and Zealot are the same size, almost, or something like that.
Oh my god. This surprisingly might work out for MShift.
Yeah. Just, the devil is in the details, you know? Like, your wall being off by 1 unit could just doom you against a build that you would otherwise just hard counter, right?
Wow.
And I think he's not
He
sending...
might be good.
Oh, yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, it looks like it's fine. No, I think maybe that SCV is standing there on purpose because maybe he knows...
Oh, because he did scout the 2 gate. Yep.
Yeah, no, not just that, but he can't lift his racks to send it through, but it could be the fact that it isn't tight and he's keeping the 2 SCVs there to make it tight, right?
Right.
So, it's hard to tell. We'll have to find out.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out. Oh, it looks like the Zealot backed up. He's like, nah, we can't do that, boys.
Again with the gasless core. He's going for an expansion behind this. Interesting.
Yeah, I would have gone Nexus Gas Core instead of this, probably, for
Yeah.
sure.
Delays the Nexus by 200.
Yeah, so the theory is, in case MShift you're still here, and in case any other Protoss is confused, if you build a Cybernetics core before your gas, what is this Cybernetics core achieving? You can't get any upgrades, you can't make any Dragoons, you can't add any more tech. You need gas in order to make your Cybernetics core more useful. So it's much more pertinent for you to get gas first and then the Cyber, and then you'll be able to use it as soon as it's complete. So, but Conway with the scouting finds the command center of MShift, and I think that a 2-fac Vault
In fact, might work here.
2-fac Vault would be really good here, I think.
Exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, 2-fac
And
Vault.
he's pulled off one SCV off gas, so it's highly probable.
Yeah, 2-fac Vault with mines and speed. Need to see the Vultures start coming out though.
Yeah.
He has money for him. He has money for the upgrade as well. I'm surprised that he's not building any Vultures. He's just building pure Marines. I don't understand it. There's the Vultures. Okay, a little bit late. Could be a little bit dangerous if MShift had the build correct, as in going Nexus, Gas, Cyber. Dragoons could have been already started right now, and they actually are started. Just wanted to point that out. One Dragoon's almost done, so this.
Ooh, this Maynard might be a little too much.
Yeah, that's a heavy Maynard, but at the same time, consider the fact that there. Oh wait, well, there's 4
For
probes stuck.
yeah, there's stuff.
But and now they're gonna go back in for a little bit. Yeah, it's funny. I always love seeing that.
Hashtag Brutal AI.
Yeah, but one thing to consider is that I actually like to over Maynard against aggressive Terran openings because the probes can fight, and probes can actually contribute a lot in a fight, especially against something like Vulture Marine. Probes are really good against Marines, strangely enough, and they can trap Vultures as well.
Let's see if Conway's got the Zealot micro or Vulture mic.
Yeah, it looks like he does. He is doing moving shot. He did do the pullback shot once in reaction, but it's not just the micro, it's going to be the multitask as well that we're going to be looking for. He is adding a tank, interestingly. He is supply blocked as well, but... Oh, wait. Yes, he is.
Just in time.
Yeah. Oh, laying mines defensively, I like it. Now wrap around through the third and lay mines again.
That'll be amazing.
That's
it's like sneak around and then mine Protoss choke.
Yeah, and then run into his main.
Push, force him to retreat, and he's gonna get hit by mines.
And then run into his main with the Vultures too, right? Kill off all the probes before the next round of Dragoons. But 3-gate Dragoon, he's starting to get to that count where like any sort of 2-fac is not gonna really work.
He's gonna have to hustle soon.
Yeah.
After he gets that first tank out. He's opting for siege mode, interestingly enough.
That's odd to me. I mean...
Oh no, you don't want to lose that game.
Again...
That was a bit unnecessary.
Again, I think the play, even with the whole entire 2-fac, would be just to go around the third and just pop up in his natural, be like, sup, bitch, what up? You just roll up on him like that. I think that might be the play. But, I don't know, between the supply block and the second factory feeling like it was a little late... Waiting for siege mode for only 1 tank. It doesn't feel like this 2-fac is going to be able to achieve that much because there is going to be... Oh, MShift is not macroing from 2 of its gateways. There's only 1 Dragoon on the way. This is actually going to get scary then. It's like it's a Game of Throws a little bit. Let's see what he does with this 2-fac. And I mean, how many Dragoon? He lost a Dragoon and a Zealot already as well, right?
Total count is 5 Goon, 1 Zealot.
5 Goon, 1 Zealot versus 5 Vulture, 1 Tank. Interesting. And 6 Marines. No SCVs.
Oh, and he's pulling 3 SCVs.
He's pulling the boys.
This might work.
Pulling the boys and expanding behind it.
Expanding behind. Okay.
Yes, I like this.
Rather safer 2-factory. Very
nice. This is good.
What I would like to see from Conway is start rallying his 2-factory to the Protoss choke.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, nice run-in attempt. But he's gonna get the tank. Mines should be coming down, and the second siege tank. Oh, this is dangerous. Yep. So many Dragoons
I would love to see some mine placements right now. Yeah. Otherwise, it's like spell doom.
Ooh, nice run-in, but mine placement would have been so good here. Yeah.
No mines.
Nice snipe on the first mine.
With a hopeful bunker, but...
Wow, yeah, this is optimistic as fuck. Let's just put it straight.
With 2 Zealots, this gets shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MShift clears up with pure units. No observers necessary really, but not enough mines either from Conway here. So Conway a little bit on the back foot. I mean, he is getting his nat up, so he's not fully dead or behind, but he's not macroing behind this. No detection. He doesn't know what the Terran is, and the Protoss again with the early forge. Yeah, Foxbat reminding us of that. The Game of Throws between him and Least was the official Game of Throws of of 2019, and it happened in like January, I think. So definitely a sick game. Someone had the replay, and it's posted in the El Master Beginner Discord. It's definitely worth a watch if anyone's
Yo,
there.
and Conway opting for 5 Factory. He knows that his push got shut down. Is he risking it all here?
I think so. I mean, MShift has so far not been known to be the greatest maker of gateways. So also not been known to be macroing from all the gateways
And no
consistently.
Citadel in sight while the Observer is out. I would love to see him scout this factory count,
Hmm.
just so that he can react a little quicker.
Yeah,
Maybe build a shuttle, Citadel ASAP.
yeah, and he's supply blocked again as well. I mean, he is
Oh
double the
no.
supply of Conway. Conway went in with that push, and now he's gonna go
Yeah,
in with
he
this one.
did.
He only has 7 SCVs mining at the natural, about 12 at the 12 at the natural, 7 in the main. So that's very very low, and this was definitely an unnecessary over transfer as well. Now there are only like 13, no, okay, like 15, 16 all right, never mind. This 5 fac is not gonna work. I feel
It's not
like
gonna work out,
it's
dude.
not.
Like I said, there's only one tank.
Hmm.
Second one just popped. I feel like the timing is a little too late for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Not enough money behind it.
Oh wow, and
Anyhow.
the speed shuttle or speed obs clearing mines.
Hmm.
This might be it. Just
Yeah,
run the zealots in.
imagine
You don't even need speed zealots at this point.
yeah, imagine going 5 fac and the Protoss busts you, like before you even move out. Like, so you're in theory you're going for like a unit heavy build, right? And then you just get busted. Like what? I, I would be shook going into game 5. And speaking of,
Yeah.
this is most likely going to game 5, and it's gonna be the third series of the day
Yup.
going to game 5. And I don't know, maybe all 4 will hit.
Oh, clutch mind drag.
Yeah,
That is GG.
game 5. Jeez. Yeah, Conway, I think it's time to save your energy, my guy. Or maybe he's making MShift tire out, you know?
Waste energy.
Yeah, just hold on with Terran SCVs and siege tanks on the high ground for like another 15 minutes. Like, you play at
There we
50
go.
APM. Ah, yeah, GG. Alright, so game 5 between MShift and Conway Twitty to find out who's going to move on to the round of
And
8.
I believe similar to last series, it's gonna be Coliseum.
You're right. Everyone's apparently least favorite map. They don't know what to do with it. Yeah, Bubba, it is game 5, my guy.
This is game 5. Yep.
Bubba over there probably thirsty for some melee. Waiting for you to finish up with this broadcast, right? Alright. So, Coliseum, game 5. Let's do it. Alright, in the bottom left, we have Conway Twitty, the ZMFXMS Red Terran.
And on the bottom right, we have the white Protoss MShift.
Yeah. One thing I want to note, both players didn't really spread their probes with their initial split. MShift still has a little bit of a competition for who's going to mine these 3 minerals. And as you can see, it kind of messes with your mining efficiency early on. It could throw your build off. And these early formative mineral moments are kind of... they can snowball, you know?
Yeah.
You're behind on your first pylon, then you're behind on your first gate, then suddenly the FD comes and you're 1 Dragoon short. You
Yeah,
know?
it's something that we mentioned, or like pretty much every cast. Like, it starts from the early game.
Yeah.
Like each delay or disadvantage, it compounds like exponentially. I feel like. So
And Conway Twitty was also kind of guilty of this. He had two SCVs on one mineral, 2 SCVs on the other, but it looks like they split up a little bit better than MShift did. It just
seems
came
like
down to luck.
Conway's not preparing. I guess for his less than ideal walling. Normally, you want the command or supply barracks.
This is gonna be fine, and you know why? It's because depot to the right of barracks is tight, and then depot on top of barracks is tight. I'm not sure if barracks against the wall would be tight, right? I'm pretty sure that depot against the wall is definitely going to be tight, right? Oh, okay. Actually, he's not even going to do a full wall. He's too low on the barracks to do a full wall. Because it would still be a tight wall if he moved that barracks up like another unit and then a depot on top of that, but not the way he's going to go this time. And no 2-gate this time from MShift, even though he has strangely seen... I mean, the 2 games that he won were from the 2-gate. if you come to think about it. Not necessarily as a result of the two gate in the last game, but the two gate certainly put Conway into like an unfamiliar territory, maybe doing the two
Yeah,
fact that he wasn't
without a
content
doubt.
with.
Like I feel like he saw the two gate and then went for a two fact, but it was less than ideal.
Yeah.
Like he had like one tank, five vultures,
Hmm.
five marines, and then like I'm not sure why he went for siege. Like we said, I feel like mine and speed would have been a better option.
Yeah, going for a, I would have gone like the first push, like the first move out. I would have gone out with like maybe like 5 6 Marines, 2 3 SCVs, and like the first 2 vultures, and then use that to gain all the map control all the way to his natural. Rally the vultures there, and then lay mines on the ramp. No,
Yep,
no observers coming anytime soon, for a person who went 2 gate zealot.
gets the probe scout just in time to see that Terran pulls SCV from gas, so he's gonna know that it's a pretty standard opening.
Yeah, good point. But on the other hand, though, like I've seen Terrans, like they know that you saw the one on SCV on gas, and that's what prompts them to go for like a two fact. You know, like they just put the SCVs right back on the gas.
Yeah,
That's it.
I've
It
done that
delays
as
your
well.
second
Very
factory a little
sneaky.
bit, but it like mentally fucks with the opponent. You know.
It might be interesting to see that in like a series-based play as well. It's
Mhm.
like, oh, you think I'm going one rack CC? Because that's what. Like, what
That's
if
what
I
I've been
go two
doing.
fact? Like, what's your response?
Yeah, true. But I think that maybe after last game, Conway's not gonna be as motivated to go for a two fact. After seeing how
Yeah,
that one went,
no
he is
doubt.
gonna go for that command center most likely, and Nexus is started for MShift as well.
Which Conway will scout, so that's good. He's gonna
Yeah.
be able to expand comfortably, knowing that
Hmm.
MShift likewise is going for a second expansion.
Yeah. And this is actually a really early Nexus now that I think about it. This is before the first Dragoon is out. This is like that was an 18 Nexus.
That's not a thing, right?
No, it's not. Like the earliest one, I mean, not including 12 or 14 Nexus, is 21 Nexus, right?
Yeah,
18
because
Nexus
if
is
you're gonna
wow.
do that, you might as well just go for the 12 max.
Yeah, I think so. And 21 Next also is slightly more economical. I think he had to cut probes in order to get that, and like cutting probes in
Yeah.
order to get more economy, like it makes sense in a way, but at the same time you're kind of losing out on some early crucial stuff, I think, as well.
Wow, Conway though opting for a very very safe opening, including a bunker at his. I wonder. It's weird because he
Hmm.
saw the Nexus, so he
Yeah.
shouldn't anticipate any sort of like goon heavy opening. I think siege mode might have been fine as is,
Yeah. On the other hand, though, I think maybe like
but
he did.
maybe he did cut the first tank to get that quicker opening.
Yeah.
Maybe in response to the second Nexus.
Also, the fact that Dragoons on the high ground would probably be able to take down the depot like before the tank arrives there, right? So like maybe
Hmm.
that would open the wall, and then the Dragoons could walk in, and then shit would get really annoying. So
Yeah,
maybe the bunker is just to kind of like further devalue any sort of aggression from
and I
Protoss.
guess just to put it in context, like game five,
Yeah,
he's playing it safe, safer than normal.
yeah, true, true. Speaking of safe, I mean, MShift did go for 2 gates behind this, so there is
I
going to be
do
a
like that he's being proactive with the initial goons as well.
yeah, keeping the like soft containing the Terran like this, like you know, having some Dragoons on the high ground, having some Dragoons outside the main center choke, limiting their ability to move around the map, lay mines, get vision, kind of gives you a lot more breathing room to take your own Nexus earlier, for
Mhm.
example. Um, he,
It
I,
even also forces Terran to micro,
mhm.
therefore inhibit his ability to multitask.
Yeah, and there's like
So
the first gain right there. He just picked off a scouting SCV. I would love to see him stay on the high ground though too, because
yeah,
this is when like a vulture run by would be like super devastating. You know, like but actually now that I'm thinking about vulture run bys, he can't get out of his base without killing the bunker or a depot. I don't know why I didn't put two and two together earlier, but I think that that now this bunker is just like it just depreciated in value like tremendously for me. The fact that
yep.
he has to kill it eventually in order to leave. I would like to see. I would probably react with a third base if I was MShift. I would take a third Nexus behind this,
Yeah,
honestly.
because he saw the bunker.
Yeah,
He knows that Conway's playing extremely passive.
yeah, and that most likely is gonna follow up with like
Oh
a
my god,
faster.
and as we talk about expanding, look at Conway at 12
Oh
o'clock,
my
dude.
God, he's pulling the Brooks. Yo, Brooks is this player in El Master Beginner StarCraft Discord who just takes hidden bases, and then he
Oh
makes
my
like one
god.
factory there, and then he starts like walling it up and placing turrets and stuff, and no one ever finds it. It's so crazy, like especially like once per game. And I mean, we've seen Conway do this before in this series. We saw it on Heartbeat. So I want to see if MShift is going to realize this. I mean, he doesn't. He still doesn't have full vision of
Oh
units
no,
exiting.
dude. For SimCity though, look at MShift's gateway. The goons are not in an optimal position. This is not good. He should cancel that gate. There we
Yes.
go.
Nice, nice,
Quick,
nice, nice,
good
nice.
awareness.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not doing with this for the rest of the
Yeah,
game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying
this
to
is
kill
game
my
5,
game
my
with it.
guy.
Yeah.
We ain't got time for Joe.
Observatory is done. Are observers on the way yet? No. I like the scan from Conway checking for the third. So Conway actually could be in a good position here. I mean, he's so turtled up in his natural that, like, MShift is thinking to himself, like, okay, well, as long as he doesn't have a third base, I'm in good spot, right? But
Right.
little does he know that Conway has other plans. He has a third base, basically for
Maybe
free.
that's why in response he's going for a quick 5 gate, or has he always been opening that uh, throughout the series?
I mean, I think he's been going up to at least 4 gates before taking a third, mostly, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, he is getting a Citadel. He got an early Citadel, so we're probably going to see the standard M-Shift Speed Obs Speed Zealot build. Not going to see it early. There's the Forge as well for the +1, so right on cue. It's kind of like the Protoss version of the everything, of the
Yeah.
everything build. Like get every upgrade. I think the third Nexus would have been the
Ooh,
better choice though.
I do like this Dragoon scouting up top left.
Yes, this is what could doom Conway here. If that third base gets exposed now, with having like spend 50 gas on and 50 minerals on a comsat station, 400 minerals on what's called a command center. SCV has only mined like 50 minerals to make up for it, and he's spending even more money on SCVs here. So this Dragoon could potentially be.
Oh, and he does. No,
Is he?
maybe?
He's just
I'm
checking the
confused by the.
mains.
Oh my god,
Wait,
this will be critical.
yeah, he needs to check all 3 bases. What's the point of going there if you're only going to check one of the bases?
Okay, he's gonna check the main first.
Is he? Oh, he's checking with
Yeah,
an
no,
observer.
he's definitely
He's sus.
he's fishy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's sus. He's like,
Oh, and the probe is going up, or is the Dragoon there to strictly protect his Nexus?
oh, that
Oh,
would be so upsetting. I mean, the observer isn't even looking at the third base though. He needs this observer to be patrolling everywhere, right now. And I mean, he's floating money as well behind this. Oh, that's for the. He didn't place the Nexus even. Where does all his money go? Did he
okay,
like
the
double
Dragoon
queue?
is moving. The Dragoon is moving.
Okay, so this is a time when double queuing hurts you.
Oh no.
Yeah, this could be tough. Still only 4 factories though for Conway Twitty. I like the fact that M-Shift has an observer inside the main base of I think this is the first time we've seen it all day that an observer is made
Yeah.
inside the factories of the Terran player. But it's good the fact that he scouted it. He sees that it's Stargate vessel. He's like, if you were in the Protoss position, I guess like if you don't like come to the conclusion that it's a hidden third base.
Yeah, no, because the observer is it's moving now.
Okay.
It's definitely
Oh,
okay. If
dun
he
dun dun. Is it gonna
moment of
stop at the
truth,
third though? Is it gonna stop at this third
it
though?
continues to move. Oh
Oh
no! It turns
no!
around.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding
Wow.
me? The one base he hasn't checked. For serious. Oh my god. Jeez. Okay, second observer coming up to the top of the
Yep.
map. Okay.
He knows that Conway is up to something.
Yo.
That much is known.
Yeah. Oh my god. This is to watch this. I don't have the words for it. Like it's kind of like you
Like
want
he's
you
one
want
step away.
and he's building proxy factories at this base. Finding it now would be
Wow.
so crucial. These proxy facts can do so much damage because Conway, M-Shift, he isn't sending all of his units to the front, but he has a fair amount of them there. If there's just like, 2 or 3 rounds of vultures out of these 2 factories, that could spell a lot of trouble for M-Shift here. And now Conway taking his 4th base, technically at his natural 3rd. Strong siege tank position on the high ground. Would love to see some turrets here as well, though. But lots of speed lots as well from M-Shift. So Zealot run by through the bottom ramp could do a lot of damage here. He could actually honestly win, I think, right now if he shows up
Yeah.
at the bottom of the ramp.
We do not see any vultures. Just saw 2 pop out, but other than that, it's gonna
Yeah.
need more reinforcing.
Yeah, definitely not enough vultures. Not enough. Like he should by now realize that M-Shift is not one of those Dragoon heavy Protosses. He's definitely a Zealot heavy Protoss, early Zealots. And I think that if M-Shift had better scouting, even now, like sent one of these observers in there.
Yeah,
Okay,
dude, the observer is still like on the hunt.
Yeah, okay, so now that he sees this, I would definitely consider going through the
Yeah.
ramp on the
Yup.
bottom and
Yup.
just rolling through this with these speed lots cuz there's enough here. That looks scary, but with 12 speed lots in the mix spread out over these tanks, that's a clean win, I think. Now we are of course going for the obligatory Phytrus cannons at the top right base. And I just feel like MShift is so
Time
close
is ticking, dude.
M Shift is so close to like win this game. He could. There are so many things he could do to win. He could have run in with the speed loss just before now. He could have found that third base that he was so
Oh my
actively
god,
searching
is he
for.
gonna get baited? Okay, he runs back.
Nice,
Takes
nice.
unnecessary damage though.
Hmm.
See, what I would love to see is you have two observers up front.
Hmm.
Why not move in? Just to see
Exactly.
like where how the Terran is positioned.
But now there's a vessel here, so now he's never gonna have the opportunity again. And now
Oh
like the door is
man.
closing. The fourth base is about to go down. Four base Terran against three base Protoss, and we're starting to see the Terran pull away and supply a little bit here
Yeah,
as well.
it's the 12 o'clock hidden base for Conway is slowly but surely showing its effect.
Yeah, what I would like to see from Conway now is adding two more factories or three more factories at least
Yup.
to get. He could actually probably justify getting five more factories at this point, and at that point you would just steamroll your Protoss opponent. Maybe take top left main if you want to play conservatively, like this slow siege tank style and expansion crawl that he's been doing. Do that. Slow siege tank crawl, split the map, and you have the base advantage because you already mined out a bunch of the stuff from the 12 o'clock base. That would be like a great play, I think. Great way to end the series for him as well. Now it should be noted that even though there are some more vultures out now, there's still zero mines on the map basically. Like the zealots still could run in and trade really well against these forward siege tanks over here. Not so much on the lower ground anymore, but if M Shift gets to a max that a decent max, he could definitely run in here and I think do a lot of damage. Oh, and the other factories at the back there are making vultures now, and although there are a bunch of Phytrus cannons here, there's actually more cannons than Phytrus has ever made in one base, I think. There's 7 cannons here
Wow.
instead of gateways. This whole mineral line is covered by 2 gateway, my guy. I mean, 2 cannons, my guy. Maybe one. You don't need 7 cannons, Sam Shift, please. Don't do the Phytrus. And okay, you wanted to see the observer placement? Here it is. This is much, much better now. Oh, but he gets found out, though. Scoops.
Still better than no information at all.
True, true, true. Uh, the other thing that's concerning is no tech. This time he has no. I mean, he is going for arbiters now, but no High Templar. He does have the gas for the High Templar. Uh, the fourth base I feel like is particularly late
Wow,
in
and
response to a fourth base.
decent decent 2-1 timing by Conway. Seems like he's going for the push now.
Yeah, 1-8, 2-1 timing,
Wow, this is pretty good
15,
timing.
15 minute, 180 supply. This is, I mean, actually 200 supply almost, and this is,
Great siege, great
yeah,
siege.
reaction's good.
EMP, wow, hits a clump of zealots. It's gonna hurt.
Still not enough cover for the tanks.
Oh,
The zealots are doing so
oh
much
my
work.
god.
Holy crap! Yeah, this I did not expect this to turn around like this. The zealots are they gonna kill all
Wow,
the
they're
tanks?
going deep in.
Are you serious? All right, the
But the
Dragoons.
EMP definitely does help.
The Drago
Eliminates the last bit of zealots. But is this enough? He does have reinforcement tanks up on high ground, but seems like this is gonna get cleaned up quite easily.
Yeah, see
Wow.
these last. All right, just compare the amount of gain that you got from like those 8 zealots with the 8 dragoons behind. But
Yeah,
as soon as the zealots die, the 8 dragoons killed like what, like 1, 2 tanks. That's why you have to run
at
away because
best. Yeah.
eight dragoons are not gonna clean up 5 tanks.
Okay, it seems like MShift discovers or is about to discover
Yeah.
Conway's base.
Oh my god.
Huh?
I'm not sure, dude. I think he might
Oh
think that
my
those were
god.
just some strays. Yeah, he doesn't go up there. He does not go
Oh
up
my
there.
god.
Oh my god, this is tense. This is tense, and now the mines are being laid over there as well. The proxy vultures is going to make it so much harder to deny here. And
Wow.
M Shift again. He only has how many gateways? 7 gateways. 7 gateways is the most I think he's ever had in this series. And 7 gateways is not going to win against 6 factories. I mean, we already saw that multiple times. Both players just need more production facilities. That's really all there is to it. And yeah, I can't believe that Conway got away with this hidden expo
That was
after
crazy.
trying it in a different game. You know what I mean? Like after a person tries a hidden expo once, I'm on high alert for the rest of the series.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, no, not on
the
my
Zealots
series.
do run in, but a little too late, and the Proxy Vulture is now coming into play.
Oh,
Oh my
at least he
god.
knows now. How much does he know? Yeah, he sees the command center. He sees the gas. All right. He's got to be kicking himself now. He's got to, at least it might motivate him to add gateways to his fourth or third rather. But I'm starting to think that it's too little, too late. This Terran army
Yep,
is getting into a
Conway
great
opting for
position.
the push. Looks like he wants to go for the game winner. Still
Still
too
not.
many tanks. I don't see many vultures.
Yeah, not enough vultures and so zealot heavy from
Oh
MShift.
my
MShift could
god.
roll this again. MShift could legitimately roll this again.
No, this is not
No,
the move.
wait.
Wait, mines?
Dragoon's
EMP?
blocking the EMP
Oh
would be
my
huge.
god.
No. MShift needs to react now and send everything. He can't fight this piecemeal. He needs to send everything. Quick.
Oh
No,
my
don't
god, but
go
he's
back.
backing up.
No!
No!
No! Oh my god. If
This
he
is
gets this
critical.
high ground, that's going to become a place where the Zealots can't just comfortably run in anymore. And it's going to be shut him off from his own third base, which only has one probe there.
Oh my god, and the ARB gets EMP'd. Does not see light of day.
There's another ARB though, only 96 energy though. It's almost time for it to to be active. Flying over, stasis the back, nice stasis.
Great stasis.
Run in with the rest of the army now though. Oh, but the resupply from what's called Conway Twitty, realizing that he doesn't have enough what's called vultures, sending them all in now. These vultures should trade decently against these zealots, but no, the dragoons behind them are gonna help out a lot. Vultures running in now from the other side as well.
Oh my god. Catches the probes.
Wow.
Great reaction.
Yeah. And actually, Conway is taking another base behind this. He's taken
Wow.
Conway's expansion is something that every person in this league should take note of, Protoss or Terran. And I mean, Fightress was good at expanding too last game. It should be noted last series. So I think that would be an interesting series to watch. Fightress versus
Yeah,
Conway.
Conway.
I want to see that. I don't know what the matchups are for the semifinals, if there are any. But if this is the way it's gonna go, I would like to see that matchup. Either in the finals or the semis, that would be great.
I'm curious to see if Conway has oversaturated in SCVs again. He's at 150, but his army doesn't seem that all too big.
I mean, he does have a bunch of supply in the top, the 12 o'clock. He has like 12, 13 SCVs there, and he's producing. He has like 12 supply worth of army there as well. So that's something to be considered. But yeah, his army looking a little skimpy right now, to be honest. And okay, he has a vessel and 3 Goliaths and 4 siege tanks and 2 marines at his natural third, for example. So that's another
I
like 20
see,
some
yeah.
supply there.
Yeah.
What else? Adding another command center. I really like this from Conway.
Yeah, like, why not?
Yeah, he's got the control, more or less. I mean, technically the map is split, but he's going to get access to his resources way faster. And this slow push, he's so good at this slow push, actually. Like very few people do this well. They unsiege the back 3 or 4 or 5 tanks and then bring it to the front. Unsiege move. Most of the Terrans you see at low ranks, they just kind of like, they 1A,
On
2A,
siege all, yeah.
1A, 2A, 3A, and then 1 siege, 2 siege, and pray, right? Like as soon as they run face first into the Protoss army, and sometimes by then it's already too late. But this slow push style, especially when you have the advantage on the map like this, I'm a fan. It's working out well.
Oh, is he gonna go around?
Oh my god. If this engage, I mean,
Dude, there's not enough mines to cover this.
no vultures either.
No, nice flank.
EMP.
This is a really strong flank.
The EMP was really good, though. D Matrix is good. Oh, the tank line is so thick though.
This is a really good flank. Wait, is that enough?
No.
No more zealots.
The tank line is too thick, dummy thick.
Great idea, but
Just not enough
Terran
units
might be
for
just too overpowered at this point. 2-2, GG.
it. Yeah, that's 3-2.
That was tense.
That's game 5. That's goodbye MShift. Better luck next time. Sorry. I mean, it was a great series. Another great best of 5. Won all 5 games. So, I mean, congratulations to MShift for making it that far. RO8 is a great performance, but Conway Twitty moving on to the semifinals. So,
Shoutouts to Conway. Good
congratulations to him. And man, I'm I'm beat after those 2 series.
Me too.
Those were tense, but my vocal cords are tired. I'm getting dehydrated.
Yeah,
But
dude.
I had a blast, man. Thank you so much for coming and joining me.
No problem, dude.
And thank you.
Shoutouts to all the players, man.
Yeah, thank you to all the players for putting on quite a show today. Thank you to all the viewers, all the people who followed. You guys, thank you everyone so much. Thank you to Least for making this organized. Yeah, not much more I can say honestly. I'm just yeah, I'm just so happy. I'm happy that it's over, but I'm happy that I did it. You know.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, guys, I'm Chobo Swaggins,
This is Phasers.
and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Take care, guys.